Why do so many people hear something, and no matter what it is, if it's attached to Democrat, Republican, Biden, Trump, they run for the hills and they scream and yell. And they either effing hate Biden or effing hate Trump. I never met either. I've met Trump. Would I want to hang out with him? I don't want to hang out with any politicians. To be very honest with you, I have zero desire to hang out with any politicians. Like, none. Like, do I effing hate either one of them? I don't even know either one of them. You know what I mean? Do I think that Biden falls down as old and says stupid stuff? Yes.
Excuse me.
Do I think that Trump is narcissistic and things he says? Yes.
I'm smarter than they are.
Do I think he's annoying when he attacks people? That's his business. But do I want to hang out with either one of them? No. Here's what's scary about today's world, though. When I say getting Trump arrested will backfire for the party that gets him arrested, before you scream and yell and run to your corner, it's the exact same thing had Trump gotten Hillary arrested, or if a Biden gets arrested or indicted. It will backfire, and it will backfire purely because human psychology says when you watch movies and you have a bad guy and a good guy, and it's not like serial killer bad guy, hope, but like bad guy and good guy, you're like, man, why'd that guy tell on him for selling cocaine? I wish he didn't. Or why is he going to tell on him that he killed that dude? Like, why does that, like we tend to side with what looks like potentially is the underdog that we can kind of relate to. It doesn't mean you're sitting at home going, I can relate. You can't relate, nor can I, to Biden, Trump. You can't. Clintons, you can't. I can't, you can't. That's a different kind of living that we're never going to experience in those circles. I mean, maybe one of you is watching. Maybe it's another name, and I'm not aware of you yet. And you're going to be insanely famous and political. But we can't relate. I made my point. I didn't need to make. I made my point with all the people that I like the one though when the guy was like, "Your opinion means you're a cokehead." I'm like, I ain't used coke in 23 years, but I was a cokehead. You know, I like to sniff it and smoke it. To be honest with you, but I only smoked it a couple times because smoking crack is like the best 25 minutes of your life followed by the worst 40. That's why you kind of do this. So, but I've been sober for 23 years. But thank you for your acknowledgement. I appreciate it. But dude, I don't freak out. I don't like have a meltdown. I don't love either side either. Yeah, I voted, and I didn't vote for Trump to hang out with him. I voted for him because I thought policies would be good. I didn't think that he was going to be in charge of everything in the world. And I also said he would lose last time. For everybody that knows me, everybody hung up me, I'm like, he will lose. And then I also said afterwards that once you lose, you can't forever go, but it was stolen. Dude, at some point in time, you got to move past it. Like, okay, I got it, dude. But at the end of the day, it shouldn't have been that close. And I did say that. I'm also telling you that with all the stuff that's happening now, that when they run, I think because the economy is just so bad, this isn't about Donald Trump being a great guy. Like, slow down. Just like, I don't know Joe Biden. I read stuff on, I don't know. I've not met him. But dude falls down, falls asleep, can't put a sentence together. He's not my guy. I mean, sorry, I'm not mad at you. But I think that we can't accomplish anything. And you can't, by the way, just like I can't. If my deal is every time I hear an opinion contrary to mine, that I run. I suck my thumb, run in the corner and hide. That's weird. We should be able to have opinions. We should be able to make decisions. We should be able to vote the way we want to vote. You should be able to have your opinion. I should be able to have mine. We may have polar opposing. I have friends who have opposing viewpoints of mine. I got a mother that's got one viewpoint, and I got my old man who's got to come. They couldn't be further away. I don't hate either one of them, even if they weren't my parents. I'm just like, and I listen. I don't disparage either one of them. And I tend not to be there. I tend to have my own opinions. I vote the way I vote. I believe in what I believe in. I don't care. That's how I am. I want the economy to be better. There's plenty of other factors. I get it. And there's plenty of other things that people talk about. But we're in this place like that news song, Richmond, North of Richmond. Even my man came out and like, dude, that's where we are. He's now like filing a lawsuit against Fox News. Why? He doesn't want to be affiliated with either party. Why? He's trying to sell music. I mean, capitalist, I'm not mad. Dude, song's great. I listened to it. I don't think that it made him anything. I didn't anoint him super conservative, super liberal. I didn't. But to go out of, but if you were to go, like, I heard the song, yeah, you talked about Island and Epstein and welfare and a lot of, if somebody were to guess, I'm an intelligent person. If you were like, which way do you think he leans? I'm like, he's probably Republican. but I didn't think it made him a good person or a bad person. I don't think your political affiliation makes you a good person or a bad person. I'm sorry, but I don't hate you if you don't agree with me. And I don't love you just because you do. And I think that's part of the where we've gone so far, that we're so terrified to have opinions. And that's not okay. Whichever party is in charge, it's not okay. Whatever party's in charge, that doesn't mean that if your opinion's opposite, you're a bad person or you're censored. Either side. And all the vile and the anger and the frustration you have for people you're probably never going to meet, who honestly don't have that view. I don't wake up ever and go, you know what? I can't wait till so-and-so gets elected. He wants me to win so bad. I don't. I pay attention to what happens. I watched last election. I watched some of the things. I think if you get mad or not, I think it was a very good strategy on the part of Biden and his crew, and they won. They did something. Yes, you can say they did this to the Supreme Court and they leaked this over here and this happened. I don't know, dude. I'm not in the know. I don't hang out with those people. I'm sure there's definitely some conspiracy theories that are very valid. But what I'm trying to say to people is, we can't have this. This idea that we're actually saying in public, we can't talk about religion and politics. I'll talk about anything else, just not religion and politics. Dude, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus Christ. If you don't believe, like, I know who my Lord is, I have my faith, that's my belief system. I don't hate you if yours is different than mine. If you have a different God, if you don't believe in God, actually, what I believe in tells me I'm not supposed to judge you for anything. If our political views are different, if I decide in an election to vote for somebody else, it's not the party, I don't want to hurt your feelings, but there's times I voted for people from both parties. Oh my God, presidential, Senate. But guys, at the end of the day, this whole, I don't hear a word you're saying, F you need to die. I mean, people say stuff, it's like, dude, imagine if you had that much emotionality and frustration for things you could control in your life. But at the end of the day, I do have to pay attention to things like the cost of gas, how much my food costs, what my interest rates on my credit cards are, because all middle Americans, whenever I was raising my kids and working my ass off, I very much needed my credit cards. The interest rate on my mortgage. Can I actually buy a house? There's really good people. I don't mean good people because they believe in me or not. They may all not agree with what I agree with at times or at any time, but they're trying to buy their first house. I bought my first house with an interest rate that was through the roof, 12, 13%. And I know how hard I worked just to make ends meet. And when we look at the justice system, when my friends were screaming, throw Hillary in jail, I'm like, dude, number one, she's not going to jail. Number two, I'd prefer you use your resources to find people that are raping, murdering, robbing people, selling them friggin' methamphetamine where they're ODing and all this other shit. Like, dude, I'm here for you, but it's not going to make me like you more. That's all I'm saying, psychologically. And we won't know until the election comes around. Then we'll know. And then we'll have to figure out what poll we believe in or which one we don't believe in. But have an opinion, please. I mean, you can scream and yell when you have it. But if I go, F all these people, you tune me out. It's called a debate. Debate's good. I don't mind debate. Guys are like, should I delete the comment about me being a cokehead? I'm like, no, I actually am a sober cokehead. Why would I delete the comment? Touche. You know what I mean? I don't care who you are, how many followers you got, what you do, don't believe in. If you agree with me, you don't. What do I care? I'm just trying to have conversations that I think we need to have. And one of the things that drives me every day is, why are we where we are and why can't we have these conversations? I have no problem if you don't believe in things I believe in. I have people I know very well that do not have a faith and do not believe. Do you think that alters my, I don't like them? Do you think I freak out on them? If they ask me to explain my feelings, I will. But if they start jumping down my throat and freaking out, all I can do is have a conversation. I'm not going to get that emotional about stuff. It's your opinion, your belief system. And I respect yours. And I think in today's world, now, on the flip side, it's what a lot of people didn't like about Trump. Touche. Yelling, screaming. I can't remember who it was. Somebody said, it might even have been Biden in a lucid moment back in the day, said if we had Bernie and Trump screaming that, dude, at some point in time, it's two dudes. Just go fight. Y'all old, none of you in good shape. Just go fight. That's what they should do. You're that mad. Trump go outside and fight Biden. Bernie fight Pence. I mean, don't any of you fight Vivek. He's young. He'll whoop some ass. Y'all fall asleep while he's kicking your ass. You know, so I'm mad about that. You shouldn't say that. Dude, I'm having fun. I believe it. And like, everybody take a breath. Relax. And every president's done some good things and some bad things. Every one of them. And the ones I didn't vote for, I was like, dude, that did a pretty good job with that. He did a pretty good job with that. One day I'll say she did a pretty good job of that. We have a female president, which would be great. But if we are in a place where we're so terrified to have an opinion, that's America? Good or bad. I have no problem with you telling me you don't agree with me. I have no issue with that. My issue is like when and I have no issue, you can lash out at me all you want. I don't give a shit. But when I see people lash out at each other, and it's like, dude, he just doesn't agree with you. So what? Well, I need to make him agree with me. You're probably not gonna. And that's actually what makes the world great. You know, I had Damon John at an event we did, and I asked him if he would do a podcast with me afterwards. And he said, well, through his people we worked with, he said, but they told me how much it was, and it's expensive, and it's fine. But I think Damon John's great, but I'm like, that's expensive. We're paying him to speak. I'm good. We'll just, he spoke, he crushed it. We had 10,000 plus people in Miami. And I came off the stage. I was like, hey, thanks a lot, man. That was unbelievable, and it really was. Here's what's great about it. And he says, hey, do you want to do that podcast? And I said, yeah, sure, man. I said, but, no disrespect. I don't want to, we paid for the event. He goes, no, I'll do the podcast for free. And I said, all right, if you don't mind me asking, why did you change your mind? And he said, because I've spoken at so many financial services events, so many insurance, wealth management, all of the above. And he said, in all those years, I've never been in front of a crowd as diverse as that one. I said, well, diversity is our greatest strength. He says, good for you. I'd love to do it because that was really inspiring to me to see how diverse the company is. And dude, that's what makes America great. Is like, that's the way that it works. And for whatever I got when I grew up, that's what I was told. Treat everybody with respect. You don't have to agree with everybody. I didn't see anybody differently based on anything. How they grew up didn't matter to me. Color of skin didn't matter to me. Nothing. It didn't matter. Ethnicity, language you spoke, it didn't matter. Because at the end of the day, we're all just human beings. So I love you all, whether I agree with you or not. Love you if you don't agree with me. I still love you if you hate me and didn't even meet me. If you met me and you hate me, I'm like, I still love you anyway. But I'm like, what, you know what I mean? But guys, at some point in time, we have to hear all the information to be able to understand. Doesn't mean you have to agree, but a lot of times we freak out, scream, yell, have a meltdown. And that's what we're being taught, by the way, by a lot of people in charge. Politicians love that shit, dude. They love it. It's dividing, and the more divisive it is, the more emotional it is. The more emotional it is, the more charged up you are for their campaign to donate. It's kind of like the WWE without the fighting. It's just a game, and I want to have the best game I can for people that are working their asses off in this country. That's it. Period, end of story. So, still tell you, getting him arrested will backfire. And again, if he can find a way, or anybody can find a way to get Biden arrested, will backfire. You know what I mean? So, but again, I was going to say it had to be Hunter, not Joe, because how long a sentence could they give Joe? You know what I mean? Like, and I'm just being honest. I'm not trying to be mean, but it's like, at the end of the day, I just think that all people know that they're effed up on some level. They know they have their own problems, their own issues. And I think they can relate when they feel like somebody else is being treated unfairly. And most of us, when we watch things, think, oh my God, we don't. There are some people that will. I have people that I know that if Hillary got arrested, they would have celebrated for 3 months. I got people that are probably still celebrating when Trump got arrested. I wouldn't celebrate either one of them. And I was like, even when people were screaming and yelling on the Republican side, I'm like, dude, be careful what you ask for. If they pull this off, it will not work the way you think it will. It will not. So I'm just saying, for those of you really upset, you probably shouldn't be so upset. For those of you celebrating, don't celebrate. The game ain't started yet. That's just my opinion on human behavior and psychology. I may actually agree with you. You might go like, yeah, dude, I hate Trump, but I agree with him. I think that's just not gonna, that's not gonna work. That stuff is politics. It ain't gonna work. So, and it's all they're gonna talk about, and it's gonna take away attention from anything else you think would be a good issue on your side, on whichever side you're on. But listen to all of them. I also watch all the debates. I watch Republican, Democrat. I just watch it. I read about it. I'm interested. I really am. And I think there's been some amazing presidents we have that have not been Republican that I didn't vote for. They've done some really, really good things. You know what I mean? So I guess I think put your life in your hands, but let's start thinking before we start like shutting down, because it don't work. It just doesn't work. My old coach used to say, don't have rabbit ears. Tuck your ears in, live your life. Like, people are going to talk, take the information, have a debate. Debate is good. There is nothing more American than healthy debate. You can't take your ball and go home because somebody didn't like who you like. It's freaking weird. That's my take on it. I'd love your feedback, your comments, whatever they are. Anything you wanna say, have at it, man. I think I'm ready. Let's debate. Let's talk about it. Let's have a healthy conversation without freaking out and going home with our ball and hanging out and hanging our heads and having a temper tantrum.